Give it. Give it till it hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Patreon.com/Chanarant. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my hair. Woo!
All of my hair is gone, Busco.
That'll wake everybody up.
Woo! Yeah. I took a huge fucking swig of whiskey, too, and then tried to do that entire tune in one breath. So
How'd
that's
that work out for you?
That's a good way to get the Bushmills to go right to your fucking dome. Hello, everyone. My name is Josh. Welcome to the Chanarant Podcast. With me, as always, is my bearded co-host, Andy.
That's me.
And if you don't know, I'm here to let you know this is an explicit podcast, so we're going to say dirty words. If you don't like that, you got 5 seconds to listen to something else. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fuck. Catch our album of Gregorian chants where we say fuck, coming out in the spring.
Yes.
Springtime is the time for Gregorian chants, I believe.
I think so. It's very renewing, much like the earth renewing at springtime.
Much like
Unless you're in the underground, down under the other side. What's it called?
under
The underbelly?
Oh, the upside down.
The upside down. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
okay. Man, that took. The fact that I managed to pull that out of that fucking nonsense means we hang out way too much. Just so everyone knows, if you are new, you can like, follow, review Chanarant on Podbean, Stitcher, MySpace, Grindr, and of course Lucy's Find My Pets page. And you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, the Twitter, the Australian Snapchat. What else? What else do we use? That's pretty much it right now. Oh, and if you are one of the 6, this episode of Chanarant Podcast is brought to you by the Chanarant Store, the #1 store for buying things related to Chanarant Podcast. And you can always support the show, patreon.com/Chanarant, $5 a month. And you can watch the fucking live stream go down.
And then us put it up for free because we can't figure out what's going on.
Watch Patreon go down the second fucking time we use it. It'll get better from here, guys, I promise.
Yeah. We don't know how to use Patreon, and apparently they don't either.
Apparently they don't know either. I feel good now.
So, that's
So we
good.
definitely got to drop some content.
So,
This episode will be available to patrons later. It's just if people are watching live now, then they'll be able to watch it for free.
yeah.
But I'll take the links down after we do the stream, and then the only people that'll have it will be the patrons.
Does it really matter?
I'm interested to know how many of the patrons actually go back and watch the stream as opposed to just listening to the show, the audio version of the show. You know what I mean?
I would say 2.
A max, right?
Maybe.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2 watch the first 10 minutes and are like, I could just listen to this later.
Yeah, this sucks. This is just 2 guys getting drunk at a fucking table.
Exactly.
Yeah. Where's the fun in that?
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, Fusco.
You know what really bots my man?
What you say bots your man? Mm-hmm. What bots your man?
When another podcast steals your guests and does interviews with them and wants to tag on to our fame and fortune. And what the hell are you doing over there?
Is there a certain podcast in mind and a certain guest in mind that you'd like to tell the audience about?
There might be. Sons of bitches. While Josh is dealing with the intern. We have that son of a bitch in Andrew Douglas got the son of a bitch in Joe Brady on his podcast. And did 2-hour interview with him.
Are
Mostly
we still calling
Andrew.
that a podcast?
It's more of Andrew Douglas interviewing himself, kind of. But
I don't know when did Andrew Douglas fucking going on for 2 hours
count as a podcast.
I guess
we go on for an hour and a half. So what's the difference?
I mean, if you count all the fuck ups, we go on for at least 2 hours usually.
That's true. But we'll get to that later. We'll get to that
of course.
later. But I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I didn't. I have not listened to the whole thing, but I hear that you did me a solid and gave me the cliff notes. You've cut out some of the best clips.
I pulled clips because I want your reaction to the things they said.
Perfect. I will try to be properly intoxicated before I give those reactions.
Perfect.
So I'm going to start now.
Yeah, go for it.
This brings us to an interesting point. We flipped the script here.
Did we?
Andy is not drinking for 30 days.
That's correct. Well, another 25 or so.
Another 25 or so. So as much shit as this guy gave me when I took a night off from drinking on the show, I find you'll find this a very interesting experience.
Why is that?
Because I feel like I was sharper, like I still got some jokes in, but I didn't have as many misses to get one hit instead of like spray and pray like I do when I'm drunk doing jokes on the show.
Yeah,
I kind of like I was more of a sniper.
Right. Yeah. So you mean on the show, things will be different?
Yeah, on the show things will be different. In your day-to-day life, you'll still wake up at noon, have a wank, go play bagpipes, go teach bagpipes.
Exactly. That's correct. That won't change at all. But it'll make the days seem longer because I'll have nothing to get me through. But.
Yeah. Well, the days will be longer, and you'll be amazed what happens when you can remember the day before. Vividly. Yeah. And then 3 or 4 days at a time, once you carry a memory that long. Oh my goodness.
I'm just curious. I don't know why I chose now. Well, actually, I do know why I chose now because we just finished Burns Night and we have nothing major coming up in February.
No.
And I figured, the Dojo cruise is coming up in early March and I bought the drink package for that. So
you've got the Dojo cruise going straight into fucking St. Patrick's Day.
Correct. Yeah. So I just thought I'd take the break now.
Bye March. Bye soberness.
Oh my God. March is going to be a blur.
Hello, drunken shits. No more March for you.
Oh my God. And then we also have Aussie Broad coming in March too. So that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, man. I totally spaced she was getting here that early.
Yeah, she's coming like a good 2.5 weeks before the games or something. Maybe 3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, which just blows my fucking mind. Okay, speaking of, you mentioned we had Burns Night.
We did.
We talked a bit about it on the last week's episode. We weren't sure how it was going to go, whether it was going to be really crazy party, whether it was going to be really austere.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What do you think, Fusca? What were your thoughts on the 2019 Burns Night?
Well, I remember something I said last week. I said it's either going to be terrible or it's going to be awesome, and I was 100% wrong. It was exactly in the middle.
It was perfectly on the fence.
It was but not bad.
No,
you know what I mean.
I had a perfectly swell time.
Right,
and then maturely bowed out.
Maturely. Well, maybe.
Yeah. Went to Frankie's. I think I only had one round at Frankie's.
Yeah, we went to Frankie. It was basically you and me and one other person, and because nobody else came, they're all lame. And then
just called it home. Called it an evening.
So, and nothing too crazy happened. We got drunk,
oh yeah,
and a couple, nothing really stupid,
no.
really. Yeah. And so, wasn't one of our best interesting nights where shit hits the fan.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot of story. There wasn't a lot of story to that night.
We did get shushed twice.
Yeah. Our
table.
That was not us. We were not the super loud ones at our table.
Oh well, okay, that might be true. But
we
they
were
came
sitting.
To me and
yeah, we were sitting with the Outlanders. The fucking Outlanders got shushed because they were just on it.
Yeah, well, she said it to me. Somebody came up to me, one of the waitresses or whatever they were, and said, "Somebody's giving you guys dirty looks over there. Maybe you guys should quiet down." Why are you telling me this?
Yeah, quiet down. That's what we do.
I wasn't drunk yet by that point.
You know what I do? I just use the excuse that I'm sorry, I was playing and it was really loud. So
yeah, I'm kind of deaf, so I have to talk loud.
What? Wait, what'd you say? Some cunt's giving me dirty looks across the room?
Yeah, I know exactly who it was.
Dude, I wish I had known sooner. Because I know that you'd mentioned something, but I don't think you mentioned to me right as it happened, or I don't know if I was at the table right as it happened. But my favorite thing to do is when you're in a crowd like that, and it hurts sometimes when you're being the asshole and you know you're being the asshole and you just double down. Mm-hmm. But I do love it when you get the dirty look from someone who won't say shit to you. They'll just glare, and I just match it. I just fucking just 1,000-yard stare, no blinking, no anything. Eventually that person becomes very uncomfortable.
You think they get uncomfortable first?
Or you do this. You stare at them solid for about 2 minutes without blinking, and then right at the end, just do this.
Lick your lips is what Josh is doing right now for those not watching.
For the majority of people who do not watch this fucking podcast.
I don't know.
You lick your lips and then just blow them a little kiss. That will very much confuse anybody.
Yeah, oh yeah. That'll send anybody over the edge. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of all that happened. It wasn't really all that interesting, right?
No, yeah, I was kind of. I mean, the food was great. I thoroughly enjoyed the food.
It was pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
It was typical buffet wedding type food.
I thought it was. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was better than like rubber chicken and like shitty salmon and shit. Like it was like like the meat was pretty good. The haggis I thought was great. I loved the fact that wasn't served haggis in a little like cup.
Yeah, they actually had
Like they had a big fucking thing, and you could just
take what you wanted.
dude. I took like 4 scoops. I went to fucking town.
Yeah.
Here's how much of the haggis I scooped off. I scooped off so much that the woman behind me in line was like, "Wow, like you really think you're going to eat that much?" And I was like, "Ma'am, I guarantee."
Most people out there are saying, "No, thank you."
Yeah, I guarantee I will eat this much.
I'd rather not have it. I tried it, and that's as far as
It wasn't like the best haggis I've ever had, but it was good, man. I like haggis. I only get haggis like twice a year.
Yeah, it was okay.
So when I get it, I eat the shit out of it.
I guess we should give a special shout out to Claire, who bought us lots of drinks that night.
Yeah, Claire was on form. I don't know what. Like, did we yell at him or something? Like what?
I don't know. No, he does that he did that last year too.
Yeah, I was kind of blown. He's like, "Oh, like you want more booze?" Like he got to the point where he was like asking me if I wanted another drink while I had a full drink in my hand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, Claire, no, I don't."
Go up there, he buys a double. Like
I
a single's fine. He's like, no, you want a double.
It's like I very much appreciate that you're buying me drinks right now, but I have to pilot home.
Like I'm not gonna blow you, dude.
No, I don't care how much whiskey you give me.
Yeah, I ain't got that in me.
But yeah, I was overall. I think you were right. I think it was completely wrong. It landed immediately. It landed squarely in the fucking middle.
Yeah. Does that count?
Me rubbing my elbow down the table. I'll drink anyway.
Bang pretty hard on the table there. So yeah, I guess
it wasn't the only time something's been banged on this table. You know what I mean?
I have no idea. What do you mean?
I mean, 2 or 3 years ago, last time I had sex, one of the times was on this table.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I hope you cleaned it since then. I'm sure you didn't, though.
I actually had, it was so intense that I just sanded off the top layer and restained it.
That's probably the good idea.
I didn't think cleaning was going to really get in there, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take like an eighth of an inch, just clean off the top. I got the coarse sander out, put my mask on, went to work.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Strangely enough, getting out the coarse sander, putting my mask on, and going to work, also the beginning stages of foreplay for me masturbating.
There you go. So why don't we get into a couple of the emails and things that we've gotten this week?
Yes, sirree, Bob Dixie. So where do you want to start, my friend?
I would say let's start with we got an email from a guy. Do you want to read it? Or you want me to do it?
Is this the guy that the piss guy?
Yeah, that guy.
Now I feel bad that he will forever be known as the piss guy.
Yeah, we got this email from this guy. He submitted it. I think it's better just as it is.
Yeah. So this is Dan. I think he said we're okay with using the name. If not, I already used it, so sorry.
Guess we're screwed.
I don't know if this qualifies as a Dirtbag Olympics 4 story or not, but I still found it funny. The answer is no, it does not qualify as a Dirtbag Olympics 4 story, but it is funny. I had a woman contact me this week to play for a gravesite funeral service. The location was about 3 hours from my home in the middle of nowhere, Appalachia. Everywhere's nowhere in Appalachia. Not really wanting to take the gig, I quoted her some outrageous figure, well above my standard fee, thinking that no one is going to pay that much for a few hymns and Amazing Grace. To my surprise, she actually accepted my quote and booked me. That brings us to an interesting story later. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you've been paying attention to the weather here in the Midwest, but we are getting hit with record-breaking low temperatures. I believe they call it the polar vortex. Terrible band name. I get up that morning, drop my kids off at school, pack the... Is that a euphemism for pooping? Packed the car and started driving. After about 1.5 hours on the road, I was getting hungry, briefly pulled over to get some fast food. Back on the road I went. Shortly after, I got a text message from the client stating that they were leaving the funeral home and were 43 miles from the cemetery. According to my GPS, I was 55 miles out. Fuck. I put the hammer down and was going about 80 plus miles an hour in a 55 zone down a country highway, trying to beat the funeral procession. It was also about this time I began to feel some pressure under my kilt. I had to pee. I thought it might just be a priapism. Knowing that there was a great possibility of missing the funeral, even though I had left a half hour early, I knew I couldn't stop until I reached the cemetery. Luckily, when I rolled in, I had made it ahead of the procession. I hopped out, threw my pipes together, and did a quick warm-up tune. The wind chill at that time was about 0 degrees, and the cold did not help with my urination frustration. Also, great.
That's a great name.
Album name, I'd say.
Urination Frustration.
Satisfied with my pipes, I threw them back in the car and looked for someplace to relieve myself. There were 2 other funerals going on in the cemetery at the time. Secluded wood lines or fences were out. I greatly pondered the notion of just letting it run down my leg, but with all the snow on the ground, it would be rather obvious, and the thought of frozen piss in my hose was less than desirable. So this is one of the arguments for yellow hose.
So you can't tell.
Yeah, so you can't tell. Having lost all feeling in my hands and legs, I retreated back to my car, legs crossed. My efforts to contain my bladder were failing as I was running out of options. Then I noticed the empty fast food cup from lunch. MVP move. It's got to be. Fuck it. I spun around to make sure I was half out of sight from the other mourners, whipped up the kilt, yanked down my shorts, too damn cold for regimental. The cold had caused the Cahill effect, and it took me several maneuvers to get the wee piper into position, letting the floodgates go. I felt the immediate warm relief swarm over me. Filling the cup completely to the brim and returning it to the cup holder, I realized I was about to have another problem. I just let loose a big gulp worth of size pee into a paper cup with wax-sealed bottom. Right on the side of the cup, it read, "No hot beverages." Shit. If I don't get rid of this thing soon, I'm going to come back to a piss-filled car. My wife would kill me. I can't get this thing out. There's snow everywhere. I quickly locate a trash can at the end of the lane. You know, the ones where you put dead flowers on. I jump out of the car, put the steaming cup gently down in the mesh can. I turn around just in time to see the hearse pull up. I've learned my lesson now for long road trips to prepare for such instances where stopping is not an option. I just hope the contents of that cup freeze solid before the groundskeeper goes to empty the can.
Can you imagine like a piss popsicle?
The good news is my pipes behaved well given the circumstances, and I got a $20 tip from one of the mourners. Keep up the good work, guys. I hope I made you laugh. F you, Joe Brady. # one of the 6. Sincerely, Dan the man. Dan, I've had to pee in a cup in a car before. These things happen. Sometimes you just got to be the real MVP and just go for it.
Yeah. You want to hear a funny story about that?
I do. you know that I do.
So we had a gig at the Paris once or something, and as usual, we drink at these gigs sometimes. So coming out of the Paris, it was like a weekend night, and it's super difficult to get off the strip on a weekend night. Mm-hmm. And I didn't go to the bathroom before we left, right? So I'm pulling out, trying to get out of there, and it's just fucking traffic for days, right? And the bladder starts pushing, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die, right? and I had like a bottle of soda in the car, but like a bottle, like a 16 ounce or whatever they are nowadays, 20. So I dumped the soda out the window, right?
the guy behind you is like, I know what's happening.
He's like,
here.
I know what's going to happen. And so this wasn't like a cup. Like at a cup, you got a lot of room to...
Yeah. You got room to maneuver. No, this you got.
This is a bottle. Like so. This is me.
Just press the hose tip against it and hope for the best.
That's exactly what I did. I'm pushing the hole up against the hole and just hoping for the best. Right. So the funny thing though that I didn't realize is when you pee into a urinal or a whatever, like apparently there's a lot. We have a lot in us.
Yes, the bladder can hold quite a bit.
20 ounces in no time. Like it was filling.
Especially
and I'm not done. I'm like, oh my
booze.
God, what am I gonna do? Like
when you drink water, you're absorbing some of that. When you're drinking booze, you're actually taking the extra water out of your body,
just
and
pushing
moving
it.
it.
Oh yeah. So I'm like, oh my God, it's like full. Like, how am I going to cut off and not piss all over myself? Because I got rid of half of it or something.
You're in the band kilt, of course.
Yeah, the pressures. Yeah, of course. That's the only thing I own. But the pressure's at least gone. I just need to cut off cleanly, which, as you know, for Vegas people, apparently is difficult to cut off clean. So
cut off a clean stream.
So yeah, that happened. That wasn't that long ago. Within the last 2 years, I can't remember exactly, but
I have a funny anecdote about this. It's not me, unfortunately. Well, I mean, it's fortunate that it wasn't me, but it would have been funnier if it was me. It has nothing to do with pipe band. But I had a similar situation happen with a friend's brother. And you know the friend, but you don't know their brother. It was the guy who used to play drums for us in Emu, his brother.
Okay.
And he had to have the fire department called and the paramedics because he had to relieve himself in the car. Uh-huh. Had a Gatorade bottle was all he had, like the big Gatorade bottles.
Okay.
And instead of just putting the tip in and peeing in the Gatorade bottle, somehow he got his like shaft and balls in and could not get them out. So the fire department had to cut the bottle off.
You're kidding.
Because his cock and balls were stuck inside.
Why would he try to fit everything?
Which just makes me think, like, how do you go to the bathroom normally? Like if you're like, obviously the only thing to do is put my balls in here too. like what? No, never do that. What are you doing?
When he sits down to pee, Is he teabagging on purpose? I mean, is he really dipping the balls?
I don't
Does he
know.
stick it all
Like,
down there? Like,
you would think that if they're that long, like you would want to keep them out of the Gatorade bottle. Otherwise, you're just pissing on your nuts, right?
he sounds like the kind of guy that would probably gets naked,
By the way,
completely naked to go to the bathroom.
Or do you ever notice like there was always that one kid who way too late on in school like still pulled his pants all the way down to his ankles to take a piss and like shirt up.
Oh yeah.
like pants down to ankles, shirt up. I will give you, Pusco.
No,
I will give you a crisp $20 bill.
Okay.
If next time we are out at a crowded event, I'm talking like a sporting size event where there's like the trough and there's like a bunch of guys out like just like at the trough. It's like if you pull your pants all the way down to your ankles and lift your shirt up to pee
and just hold it and do it that way.
That would my god! I'm $20. Crisp $20 bill. That would be the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Might do that.
Like if you could do that without laughing and just like keep a stone cold face, like you are a god.
I might be willing to do that.
That would be the funniest. And like everyone next to you would have to get it, right? Like if they're in a men's room, like you would start laughing.
I would laugh, but
Or is it
I don't know
too
if I
awkward?
would think that.
Are you one of those guys where it's like it's really awkward when someone comes up next to you at the urinal?
I'm not.
Doesn't bother? Yeah, like it's never really weirded me out that much. Granted, if there's like 15 urinals and I'm at the very far end and the guy comes up right next to me, that's a little weird.
Yeah, that's true.
But all that's happened is as I've gotten older and more fucked up in the head, I've become that person where it's like there's a huge row and there's one guy like obviously like by himself. I'll just go up. Hey.
Just to mess with them.
Just Captain Awkward, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what the ones that weird me out is like the guys that pee without holding on. They must have massive dongs, but I don't look. But they'll just sit there and they'll do it like this, like the hands up in their head, or they'll have their hand
Depends, man. Yeah.
up on the wall or something. Like one, I wouldn't touch the wall, but two,
Yeah.
like how are you like you're not going to piss
you
off
have
yourself?
you have no idea where that wall's been. Touch your dick instead.
Oh, I'd much rather do that.
At least you know where that's been.
No place good, but
But yeah, that's I don't know. It depends on like how bad you got to go, right? Or like how drunk you are. For me, sometimes, like if I'm drunk and I'm like not necessarily keeping my feet, then I might need a brace. I might need a two-handed.
maybe, but no, it's usually never. It's like it's usually an older person at like a sporting event or something.
Yeah.
It's like not necessarily like at a
Dude,
bar
if
where we're hammered.
you got a hog, man, you just whip it out.
Well, I mean, it's got the weight to just point down.
Yeah, the trick is
It's not going to shoot you in the face like a baby.
Oh my goodness! So emails.
Back to that. So we got this other email, but it's not really an email. So this guy,
It's like email with a video attached,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
thinking in the Channeret Studio 2.0, like we'll have a video screen
it'll
behind
be like
us.
it'll be able to show what
so
the
we'll, like,
people what's
see.
going on. Yeah.
Or like picture in picture.
Yeah, that'd be amazing if we figure that out.
We can't even get this fucking thing to work. Every time we almost we get one episode where it works perfectly, and we're so excited to start on time the next time that the entire Patreon site goes down.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So anyway, this guy wrote us in there. He sent us the video. So what happened was we were at Winter Storm, and this guy comes up to us at the concert and says, "Oh, we're me and whoever he's even talking about are big fans. We just will you take a video and say hi to my friend?" And he's going to send it to his friend. So we did. So this is the video. He ended up sending it to us. So
This is at Winter Steam, right?
no, this is at the concert.
This is at the concert.
Yeah. So it's going to be loud background noise.
Oh, that's why we had to. That's why we had to get so close because we didn't want to yell "cunt" at the concert.
Yeah.
We already got Andrew Douglas already got mad at us because we were drinking in a church and saying "fuck" in a church.
Well, I don't know if he'd say he was mad. He was like, he definitely gave us a dirty look.
Like apparently he was amazed that we would do something like that. I was like, do you have any idea who you were talking to? Like you know us.
Why would we? We couldn't have been the only people that snuck liquor.
No,
we could not have
fucking way.
No
if
way.
we are the only people that had liquor inside of that fucking concert, I will take my boot off and eat it on air.
If anybody out there knows, I'm sure. Tell us you had liquor. Let us know. But yeah. So anyway, here's the audio of the video, and we'll put the video up later.
The video of the audio of the video.
Exactly.
Yep.
So ride the fader in case this comes out.
Oh, I'm on it.
Hey Mark, have you seen so I found a couple guys here that want to say hi to you. Have you seen Joe? Hang on. Let me know when we're turn around. All right. Hey, what's up, Mark? What are you doing? You're not here? Yeah, cunt. Come on.
So that's us calling his friend a cunt.
Call Mark a cunt. So there you
Apparently
go.
that's our thing now.
Yeah. Apparently we're the only ones that are happy to drop a good old Charlie Uniform November Tango.
The C word in there somewhere.
So cheers to you, mate. I think actually you're in the chat, aren't you? Yes, you are, brother. I see you. I see you from here.
Yeah, he's in there. So on another subject, you said you were going to go back to this topic. In that email, somebody said somebody overcharged, hoping to not get a gig. You said you were going to come back to that?
No, you said you were...
you
no.
did.
Yeah. So it wasn't the overcharge. It was the idea of like, okay, I'm not sure I want to do it. So I'm just going to give some crazy fucking price. And then they say yes. I feel like we might have had something similar come up with an upcoming St. Patrick's Day gig.
Kind of. Yeah. Kinda.
Yeah. Where we're like, I'm just going to give them this. And there's no way they say yes.
Well, the first time, yes. When this started, yes, that's what happened. But
I don't know how much we want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It hasn't. Yeah, like
hasn't happened yet.
it hasn't happened yet, and like I don't want to say anything until it's finalized.
Contracts aren't signed yet.
Like if we, I don't want to talk about this gig if we don't end up doing this gig, and if we do end up doing this gig, it's going to be fucking wild.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, it happens. I've heard other people do. I've done things like this for sure. I'm sure other people have, but
I think it happens to pipers and musicians just across the board, where it's like you'll be like, I really don't want to do that, so it's going to cost this much, and then you're like, okay, that seems fair. So here's the show up time. You're like,
but at least it makes
no.
it worth it.
Yeah, it's like I can't say no now. Like if I can want the money for sure.
Right. So yeah. What else we got? You have on here talking about the Dojo U cruise. I'm not sure what you.
I figure we get into that maybe a little later.
Oh, that's fine.
Because you're gonna go on the Dojo U cruise. So real quick, do we want to get to? I'm sorry, I gotta pull up the notes now because
That's okay. Take your
computer's
time.
doing some.
I'll edit it later.
Oh fucking no, you won't.
Are you gonna do the thank yous? Is that what you're gonna do?
Actually, I was gonna before we do the thank yous, I thought we could talk about the raffle.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Sure.
So it is February 1st today.
It is.
Which means the 25. I think it was 25 before the 1st. I don't think anybody signed up today.
It's 25, correct. We have one today, but too late.
The 25 patrons that signed up in January are entering into our first ever raffle. We're going to pick a name at random. So the way you're doing it is you have like the names assigned to numbers or something, and then you're going to have me pick the number.
I have names assigned to numbers. Then I'm going to do a random number generator thing 5 times, and you're going to pick one of those 5.
I'm going to pick one of them.
Doubly randomized.
So I'm picking I'm picking a number, not a name, right?
A number of 1 through 5.
1 through 5. Okay, perfect. So we want to do that now.
Yeah. Why not?
All right, if you're ready.
Go ahead.
And this person will win a piece of merch of their choice from the
T-shirt or less of their choice.
Yeah, from the Chanarant store. So when we contact you to tell you won, you got to give us your size and your address and shit.
Yeah.
And you should have it. You should have it.
In
6 to 8 months. Yeah, easily.
So numbers are randomized. You pick a number from 1 to 5, and then we
a
have
number
a winner.
from 1 to 5. Mm-hmm. Okay. I am going to pick. What do you guys think in the chat?
Ooh, yeah. Do you guys want to weigh in? What should he go with? This is like the Price is Right.
What do you think, chat? Should I do? What number should I pick? All right, I'm not getting a lot. I'm not getting a lot of feedback.
5, no, 3.
I'm gonna go.
Somebody's got something.
Okay, Ray thinks 4. Okay, yeah, I might be. Oh, yeah, so we got 1 4 and 1 5. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna be contrary. I want to say 2. I pick number 2. Who's number 2?
Number 2 is number 26, which is shit. No way. And he's in the chat. This is weird.
Who is it?
Will Ingram.
Will, you've won. You've won the first ever raffle.
Wow.
And he picked a different number, man. Thank God I didn't go with him.
He picked the wrong number.
If I picked his stupid fucking number, he wouldn't have won.
Would have lost.
Yeah, so there you go, Will. All right.
I actually have his address and everything already, so I just need to know your shirt size and which one you want.
Yeah, Will, so you've won our first ever raffle. So, just let us know what shirt you want, your size, and we'll get that ordered and sent over to you, buddy. Cheers.
And if you want to wait to see if Josh designs another shirt in the next 4 months...
Well, what time is this episode coming out? Because I was going to try to get the Crush the Puss shirt out on the day this comes out.
This would be February 5th, I believe.
The 5th is when this one comes out?
So, yep.
Are we releasing on what, Wednesdays now?
Wednesdays.
So yeah, I should have the Crush the Puss. Crush the Puss. Yeah, the Crush the Puss. Yeah, so the Crush the Puss shirt should be out by then, by the time this comes out. So maybe, Will, if you want to wait, you can get that one if you like it. Joe Brady shirt's off, I think.
Yeah, that's not available. Otherwise, they're just Chanarant ones. Team whoever. There's I don't know what else is there.
Cool. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to make more shirts if we're going to be giving them away. But cheers to you, Will. Congratulations. He says, fuck yes. I can read it from here. There's so many S's. Cheers to you, Will.
Brilliant. So awesome. So why don't we do the Patreon thank yous then?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I feel like, let's do the quick. We'll do a break.
Okay.
We'll thank the patrons, and then we'll come back to the rest of the show.
Want to do the break, then thank them, or thank them, then break?
Let's thank them and then do the break.
All right, you ready?
Oh, shit. Let me pull up. I need the list, don't I?
I have it. I can turn the screen if you need it.
I think I can do it. I think it's what? If I go to notifications, January summary, right?
Mm-hmm.
January summary, show all. All right, I think I have all of them. Except maybe one. Did someone just do it 59 minutes ago?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll add that person in.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Hold on. I got something for you. You ready for this one?
Oh, is it a sexy song again? Oh no, it's epic.
In a world where two drunk idiots try to make the world's worst bagpiping podcast, they will need the help of other drunk idiots to fund the show. This is the story of those patrons. Their names forever chronicled in the annals of Chantarant history. Those names being Beth, Big Rab Show, JD, Gareth, Will Ingram, Robert, Tim, Ian, Jonathan, Mary, Fiona, Mike, Courtney, Jason, Ted, Ray, Ben, Killian, Bill, John, MLK, Kevin, Bradley, Camille, and Babs.
That was the new one, Babs.
These brave warriors will continue to pay slightly less than a cup of fancy coffee to watch two guys say cunt on the internet. May their immortal memory live on forever. Thank you, thank you, patrons. thank you for supporting the Chain Ray podcast. And we promise we'll get the damn live stream working better. I'm gonna call Patreon. I'm gonna write them a strongly worded letter.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what the strong word in it's gonna be?
Cunt?
Cunt.
Excellent. Listen here, you cunts.
Actually, you know what I find can sometimes carry the same gravity as cunt, but be funnier? Is when you say this word as if you're saying cunt, you say it with the intonation of cunt, but you say muppet.
Like
where I would usually say, like, listen to me, you fucking cunt. If you say, listen to me, you fucking muppet.
Oh, okay.
Like, because it's just like, wait, that was like more degrading than insulting. Like, Jesus Christ. It's a good soul crusher.
Yeah, maybe. I think there's a better word than Muppet. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. We'll solicit some ideas from the audience.
Anybody's got ideas. We don't have a monopoly on ideas, people. Send them in.
Well, you'd think we had a monopoly on ideas if you listen to the fucking Dojo podcast.
We'll get to that.
Shots fired.
When we return.
That's what we need. We need like the gunshot sound. Pew, 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 pew. Shots fired. All right. So we're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and interact with the live stream chat audience, and we'll be right back.
I have an erection.
And hello, Chanarant listeners. If you are enjoying this shitty bagpiping podcast, then you have to become a patron of Chanarant on patreon.com. Patreon.com/Chanarant. You can see a bunch of videos of us, Andy passed out on a couch being a douchebag, us after hours saying shit we cannot say on the podcast. This is the time for the real six to shine.
So many people want to buy us a pint. They all offer, but here's your chance. Buy us a virtual pint.
Yeah, it's
per month.
Less than 1 pint a month, and you can see us make complete asses of ourselves and just enjoy some great Chainring content.
Okay, and we're back from our break.
Back from the break, unless you're on the live stream, in which case we just fucked around for a bit.
And you got to see what it's like behind the scenes when we don't know what we're doing.
Which is every time.
It's so important, the edit. so that all this stupid stuff gets left on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, I guess if we're gonna like turn the show part of this, like the video part of this, into like a real actual thing, we're gonna have to like do so much more homework.
Oh my god! Well, that's where you come in. I'm not editing fucking video.
Well, no, I mean, just like a live stream, even like just have like a full like a script that we're just gonna go through, like bang, 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 bang,
Oh
bang,
yeah,
bang.
yeah, that'd be great.
Like here's exactly what we're gonna do in the order we're gonna do it. But then, is it really Chan Rant anymore?
Yeah, if we did it like in a neat, clean way, would it?
Yeah, I mean, think about some of the most popular podcasts in the world, like Joe Rogan's podcast. Like, there's no fucking rhyme or reason there.
No, it's pretty off the cuff there.
It's just banter.
Yeah, but I mean,
Speaking of which, have you ever done DMA while skydiving? Like, have you ever done LSD while skydiving, man? Because I think it really improves your bow hunting skills. Hashtag getting them Joe Rogan listeners.
we should tag him because we mentioned him.
Yeah.
Will that help? I don't know.
We should do the Joe Rogan episode of Chan Rant Podcast where we're just gonna sit and be like, just go fucking off the deep end. Let's just invite him on the show. Who knows?
I mean,
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
exactly.
I'll just get a tweet him from I'll be like, hey, we have a great podcast about bagpipes. Do you want to come on as a guest? Next time you're in Vegas. Next time you're in Vegas, hit us up, bruh.
MLK says she can get us Doug Stanhope, so we'll see. Maybe we can get a
That
couple
would be
of these guys.
fucking awesome. And then didn't one of our other friends that sat in but did not come on the show? Didn't he say who was talking to us about this podcast that had porn stars that was like run by
did.
these porn stars and
He
like,
did.
oh, like they'd probably come on and just shoot shit with you guys. I'm like,
Well, the more we question him about that, the more we figured out that
There's
there's
no way.
just two people he listens to. He doesn't know them in any way.
I think we should reach out.
Yeah,
Would you guys like if we got a porn star on the podcast? Like,
like a local one, hopefully. There's a lot of them in Vegas.
yeah, it's got to be, right?
Yeah. I could try. What's the
You
worst
watch,
that can happen?
you watch enough porn. I mean, I feel like it's time these people gave you
I feel like
something
I know
back.
them personally.
Yeah. You stared at silicone molds of their vaginas.
I have done that a little bit, and pictures to come. Now that we got a Patreon up, I might be able to afford.
Yeah,
to
assuming
test out
assuming
one
the
of
Patreon website ever comes back to life.
we might be able to test a fleshlight some one of these days soon. But so anyway,
Please not on the show.
well, we have video now, so are we allowed to do that here? Or no,
No, not on YouTube. No, even with age restriction, we can't have you porking a fleshlight.
What if it's like I'm standing here, you can't see anything because it's blocked by the.
Actually, that's true because I did see a video where someone was like a reporter was like walking around AVN and like fully clothed, like sat on a Sibian for like 5 minutes.
Really?
Like,
Had
and they
an
posted
orgasm?
they posted on YouTube.
I've seen topless and that kind of stuff
Yeah.
on YouTube or whatever.
Dude, the fucking Steel Panther Glory Hole music video is on YouTube.
Yeah, it's got to be possible.
Yeah, it's got to be possible.
By the way,
If you haven't seen that music video,
you should go see it
if
immediately.
you have
It's
not
hysterical.
seen the Steel Panther Glory Hole explicit music video, I am sorry that you're going to go watch that now.
it is friggin' hysterical.
Oh my god.
So
That's like the year before last's Burns Night, essentially.
was it?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, kind of. So on another topic, going from glory holes to I don't know what.
Something incredibly depressing.
Unfortunately, we have some sad news this week. Very sad news.
Yeah.
One of the six, a listener of the show, has passed away, and unfortunately, we learned about that via the social medias.
Yeah, on
But-
Facebook.
But and also a very funny guy, Zach Lees, passed away this week, a couple days ago now, and it's pretty sad. He left behind a couple kids and a wife, and he was from Utah, formed a band. He wrote in a couple times to the show.
And we read some of those on there, some of the funnier ones, and it's just it sucks.
Yeah, he was also a big proponent of giving the associations shit,
Giving them the proverbial finger.
So this is the guy, if you remember, I don't know when this was, Aussie Broad will probably put it in the comments, the number and time stamp of the episode,
Yeah.
but he was the guy that came up with the whole thing of naming that tune, Where's the Butter?
Yeah.
So that the pipe major would say, where's the butter? Buy the rolls, quick, Mark, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He had an interesting sense of humor for sure. And he also wrote to me once saying, because he heard about me doing this drum thing, and he wrote support of that, saying, by the way, I'm a grade 1 piper, but I also had to learn snare too, and you can do this, go for it, that kind of thing. So he's a funny dude. It's unfortunate that this happened, and I have a clip of him playing. I just wanted to put that up real quick, if that's okay.
Yeah,
him
absolutely.
playing at a competition, and he was a pretty darn good player. And I just want to say this tune that he played was one of the first tunes I ever heard that made me want to play bagpipes, and you won't have heard it ever. It's not a common tune by any means, but my mother had it on a CD. She had this bagpipe CD, and it was on there, and it just grabbed me. I just loved this tune, and it was before I started playing.
And then,
it
always hurts to lose one of the pipe band family, man. That sucks.
Yeah, for sure. So this is a good dude. Sorry to hear about that. They also are doing donations for his family.
Yeah, so there's if you go on Facebook, and we'll share it on the Chain Rant page. So by the time you're listening to this, you'll have already seen it. We'll just pin it to the top of the page. That way people who are on the live stream can use it, and people who are abroad. It's good cause for Zach's family. We'll put the link up, and we'll make sure that everyone has access to that.
So cool. Here's a little bit of Zach playing for a competition, a wonderful hornpipe called Duart's Castle. So that was Zach playing a few years ago in a contest. But here's to you, Zach.
Hell of a tune.
So back to the dick jokes, shall we?
I believe. Speaking of dicks, what do you call it when you have two dicks talking to each other for 2 hours?
What's that, Josh?
You call it the Piper's Dojo interview with Joe Brady.
What an amazing segue. I love it.
This is why they pay me $5 a month.
Someday we're going to be able to buy... we're going to go out to Chipotle with our Patreon money.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be if we save up for a couple months, we'll go to Chipotle. I promise. After we get whatever we need to make the fucking live stream work.
We'll get to that someday.
Yeah, one day. And we'll get you a mic flag because I feel bad now that I have one and you don't.
Yeah, we got to get one for me. I'm sure if we wait a year, Kelly will get us another one. But that one's really nice, actually.
It looks good, right?
Really cool.
I'm happy about it. So long story short, Piper's Dojo, our good friends over there, Andrew Douglas and Andrew Carlisle, did a 2-hour interview during Winter Storm with the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend. He drinks Piper's blood and drummer's tears.
That he does. He's a vampire, Joe Brady.
Yeah, Joe Brady. He's a vampire, Joe Brady.
By the way, if you want to get a copy of the Joe Brady ballad, go to Patreon.
If you want a copy of the Ballad of Joe Brady, patreon.com/Chanarant.
That was written and performed by Urination Frustration, the new band that Josh and I just formed.
Used to be formerly known as Polar Vortex.
Exactly. We just keep changing
our name. Yeah.
That song came out remarkably like Tenacious D, and it was not intended that way.
Well, I mean, it was weird because
we sort of did it.
Yeah, it was one of the. I won't say it's the first time that I've written a song in one night and then immediately recorded it, but we were spitballing for a while there.
Yeah. We were jamming before the show, or I was jamming on the guitar. And we just sort of came up with a riff, sort of, or chord progression or
It
whatever.
was a pretty baller chord progression.
Yeah,
I
and then
enjoyed it.
You started writing down lyrics like, oh, well, we'll do a thing about Joe. We kind of spitballed the chorus, and then you started writing lyrics for it, and then
I decided it would be the true story of Joe Brady and how he's a 100-year-old
But
vampire.
it was so much like tribute, It kind of had that vibe,
I'm a big Tenacious D fan, so that will happen.
big time. So, but it came out. We got to record that professionally someday and just really do it up.
We got to do that, and then remember what was the other one we did? Was the pipe band rap?
The rap, I got to
freestyle rap. That was a good one. We put that on Patreon.
Yeah, we
Have
did
done
another one.
We've done songs. Yeah, we did the Auld Lang Syne, F you Joe Brady.
Yep.
That was a good one.
Yep.
We must have done more songs.
There's more. We would.
yeah, we
We'll find them and put them out there.
Hey, Camille. Ozzy Osbourne.
Let us know where the songs are. So
I know that you know this, so I just need to know all the episode numbers where we do songs. So we'll put together the Chain of Rant album.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I know
it'll
you know,
be an EP.
I know you know this. Like the woman has a fucking it wouldn't even be a photographic memory. It's like a audiographic memory. Also, what kind of memory is that? This is what happens when you have one person in your fan base. It's like the smartest person you know. You just ask them all the questions.
And she's already replied, apparently.
She already knows. Sorry, goddamn, Ozzy.
Actually, I don't know what she's referring. Maybe I think that's what she's referring to.
So Fusco,
Yes, sir.
I have not listened to this interview.
You have not. I've heard the whole thing. I listened to all 2
But you
hours.
listened to it, and you told me that there were some great bits that I would enjoy, and you wanted me to listen to them live on air and react to them on air.
Yeah.
I told you I would react to them on air when I was kind of bevved up.
Are you bevved up?
So just give me 1 second.
Okay. Oh, he's adding. What's he got? He's got his ice tray. He's adding some ice. You can hear this. He's now got the Bushmills. Sure, Josh finally buys some good whiskey instead of shit bourbon, and it's when I'm in my 30 days. You son of a bitch. That'll be gone before
Well, you
I
hadn't
come back.
confirmed you were actually doing it last time we talked. Last time we talked, you said you might wait a couple days.
No. Remember, we went out for drinks after band, and I had the soda water with lime. Remember? We had the whole conversation. I started on Monday, right after burn tonight. So, yeah. Are you properly revved up now?
All right, I'm ready. Hit me.
All right, there's quite a few clips. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We can kind of go through them one at a time if you want.
Yeah, I'll just go through them one at a time because
Hashtag Piper's
each sort
Dojo,
of-
pipersdojo.com/analingus.
yeah, and if you want to hear the whole interview, you go to-
5% off your Piper's Dojo membership.
and if you want to hear the full interview, it's at the Piper's Dojo Audio Experience is what it's called on SoundCloud.
Yeah, that's a great name.
So or podcast.
Yeah,
He also
it's
does a bunch of other stuff. But
Not douchey at all.
all right, so here's
Gary
the first
V
part.
called. He wants his fucking gimmick back.
Here's the first part. Maybe.
When you were on the Chanarant podcast, you threw me under the
No,
bus
it's not
within
true.
the first
That's not true.
2 minutes.
That's not true.
I'm boring and
no,
whatever.
no,
and
you're not.
cracking
You're
jokes.
not. So that was teed up by them in advance, just so you know.
Yeah, I
too.
know.
So that was Josh because he thinks you're boring.
Yeah.
You're not boring. He just doesn't get it.
That's right. Josh doesn't get it. Have you heard that guy play a grip? It's humiliating, man.
See, and every time he goes to play a grip on air, he goes, "Oh, Andrew's just going to tell me this grip sucks."
If I'm being honest, I've been too busy to keep up with the show lately.
I'm gonna honestly, I haven't listened to my episode, and I haven't listened since. Now I know Kenny Heiner was just on.
I think
it
I
too.
listened to your
because I threw you under the bus, right? Because they teed me up for that, so they just want to see us fight.
So that's clip 1.
Okay.
So a couple things that were
Dude,
funny.
if the worst thing that anyone can say about me is about my grip, I'm pretty okay.
Oh,
Like,
it gets worse.
I'm hoping. Fuck me.
He nails me too, but so it's funny that he says that Andrew accuses Joe of throwing him under the bus, and then Joe immediately throws you under the bus in
of
his
course.
clip. It's fucking hysterical. He's like, "Well, Josh thinks blah 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 about you. You're boring." Like Joe keeps deflecting. He's like a brilliant. He's a mastermind.
Joe's that guy standing next to the bus, and there's no one standing around him
Oh yeah,
because
He's a
everyone that stood
mastermind.
next to him, he threw under the bus.
so fucking clever, that guy.
Fucking Joe.
And I'm also upset.
That's those years of growing up in 1930s Chicago as a vampire, though.
Right. I'm sure. Yeah. But I also noticed this. They mentioned that they hadn't listened probably since early December, both of them.
Oh,
and
God.
I've noticed. Can you imagine if they actually when they catch up?
Oh, you guys are in for a fucking treat.
those mid-December episodes are a bit.
It gets worse.
It goes way worse. But I noticed that the numbers in December went down.
Oh, dude, the holiday season.
Holiday season
was
I noticed
crazy.
that,
Yeah.
And it's all working its way back up. People are getting back in the swing of things.
It was crazy because, and actually, Rab mentioned this on his show, his most recent episode too, where he saw that like it was real quiet over the holidays, and now like early December shit is starting to bump up in listens because people are like going back and catching up.
Yep.
Which is, it's interesting how seasonal it is.
Well, what's going to be interesting when people start to do that with us is because December was a complete shit show.
Dude, it was
of drunken nonsense.
We had some wild episodes.
And then January, we really pull it together.
Yeah.
Like we start doing shit with piping again.
Yeah.
And it's like a total shift after Christmas.
like between, let's see, which one was bitched out? That was episode 50, right? I think that was 50.
Roughly.
And so like between like 45 and 50, Wild West.
Yeah, the choked and pegged one was insane.
Dude, it was. It's like I know. Here's how I know people haven't listened to like some of those ones because I have not heard about it.
Yeah.
And there's some shit that we said in those episodes where I'm like, I haven't heard about this, which means no one's listened to it yet, which means they will listen to it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be mid-February, and people are like, what?
Exactly.
Oh, sorry about that, guys.
So I guess we'll see, but
It'll be right around the time the Vegas Games comes up that everyone listens to it and I get in trouble again.
Any other thoughts about that one before I go to the next one?
I mean, aside from it just being inherently boring, no.
So here is a little bit of why Andrew wants to kill us sometimes.
For me, it's a really weird thing. It's a really weird podcast for me because sometimes it's like the greatest thing, and sometimes I'm literally wanting to reach through my podcast
Right there
player
with you.
and like strangle those freaking idiots.
Because sometimes they have a script and sometimes they don't.
And sometimes they just say crap that's just totally off and not right.
I'll
at
agree
all.
with that too.
Which I do too, I'm sure, but it's at a higher level that I'm off.
Yeah.
Maybe. But man, I just want to slap those guys sometimes.
So that's that.
Here's what I like about that bit. I like how they said, because like sometimes I want to strangle them because sometimes they have a script and sometimes they don't. We never have a script.
We have a sort of an order of play.
We
that's
have
very
like a
loose.
real loose set of bullet points.
Joe gets back to that a little bit later.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he's about to reference that actually.
I like how they went with slap too. Like they.
Well, Andrew did tell me once when I was back in New York visiting. He's like, sometimes I just want to reach through the radio and strangle you guys, or me specifically. He
Yeah.
said, I don't know if he said us in that one, but I don't know why. He never actually says why, so I will get to the bottom of that.
Oh,
eventually.
I'm excited. Well, next time we have Andrew Douglas on,
Yeah. No, I definitely want to have him on because I want to find
it'll
out
be
more about this.
Sleepy Time Part 3.
All right, so the next bit here.
And Andy works for me, so he should know better sometimes.
Yeah, I think Andy does. Andy is he's the soft one in the relationship.
He's like Mr. Responsibility, but then he has like major lapses of like reason.
Well, alcohol will do that.
I
You
know.
know, it's the drinking contest.
So there's that, yeah.
You're the reasonable one?
Apparently.
Is that how you come across on the show?
I have no idea.
You
Is
come
that-
across as the reasonable one, and I come across as the fucking wild card?
well, I mean, that's definitely true in everyday life.
Well, in everyday life, but
That's
I feel like I'm usually the one with one hand on the wheel on this thing.
You definitely are, but again, like when it comes to pipe band stuff, I think is what they're referring to. Like I always bring it back.
Oh,
to
that's because I don't
something
know
that-
shit about pipe bands.
I think that's what they're referring
Yeah,
to.
that's what makes it. That's what makes the show accessible for people that are at earlier levels. Is because I don't get into the fanboy shit. I just show up and play.
Right.
You know, you're the fanboy. We said this in the first episode.
Right.
You're the fanboy expert. You know all these people. You know everything. When we're at Winter Steam, you're like, holy shit, we're gonna talk to that guy. I'm like, who the fuck is that? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm gonna go. Let's go meet Ross Miller and let's go meet
It's an
Derek
important
Cooper or whoever.
It's an important dynamic.
No, it helps. Somebody's got to have some clue in something.
Yeah. We help bridge. I bridge the gap.
Absolutely. No, I don't know if I'd say it's a criticism per se, but
Also,
yeah.
I sincerely don't give a fuck. I mean, I like to learn, but
well, that much is obvious.
I learn at my own pace.
All right, so here's the next one. This is a good one too.
Yeah, but it's a cool. I support the podcast.
It's entertaining.
in a crude, crass, unintelligent, stupid kind of way. They're doing a similar thing to what the dojo's doing, which is, trying to like sift through the stew to like figure out what's going on and like try.
A stew or a salad, would you say?
I don't know. It's more of a stew.
Okay.
Salad's more Canadian, as you now know.
Do you remember that bit?
I do. I'm glad Joe brought that up.
Yeah, Joe's again. He's a fucking genius. He remembers everything.
I know the last episode Joe listened to.
Yep, and it was right on his mind, right? Yeah. So, but he hits it right on the head in a crass kind of way, or whatever, however he says it.
Well, I feel
we are
like
trying to get to something. We don't know what that is exactly, but
Yeah, see, for me, when I look at the podcast landscape of around like bagpiping shit, right? And when I look at like the
really
people,
aren't any, but
when I look at the people that are like super engaged, like on like social media and like new media platforms, like trying to talk about the scene and trying to like figure it out and decode it, there's so many prongs to this attack. Like Big Rab Show is attacking it straight on, middle of the road. RSTBA kind of side,
almost
like
reporting
UK,
news,
reporting news. Like he's the BBC of this whole thing. Piper's Dojo is like attacking from here's like a new way to learn. Here's how we can make this accessible to people. You know, here's our ideas and how we're going to present them. So yeah, they're like the fucking PBS of the world essentially. And then we come in and we're like, well,
we're Fox News in this bitch.
Yeah, so I mean, not even sometimes Fox News and always at least like a Howard Sterning, but sometimes occasionally a Fox Newsing.
I just mean like pure editorial with no
Yeah,
facts.
yeah. The whole thing for
Very
us
little
is
facts
like,
anyway.
the whole thing for us is like when we started the podcast, we talked about like there's a space that's unoccupied, and it's the space we now occupy.
Yeah.
Or you can have the Gray Snow Vortex space where you just don't do a podcast.
Don't do anything yet. No, I always tell people like we're going after pipe band life, not so much like education.
Well, and it's intentional. Like I'm not going to do the news because Big Rab's doing the news. I'm not going to do public service because Piper's Dojo is doing public service. I'm going to fill the space that is left, which is the humor and the shittiness and the seedy underbelly.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so they all have their place.
Yeah.
But so here's the next one. This is a good one.
But yeah, so like in a weird way, like we're allies.
Yeah.
Even though Josh threatens real life terrorism
That's
on his
true.
own
Yes.
show.
Yes.
What?
There's because you threaten to kill people or you tell people to put a shit in their head and kill themselves.
That's not terrorism.
No, you do. You threaten people. You're like, oh, I'm gonna. I'm trying to think of a good example, but there's been times where you've done that. Now, the other thing that's funny about this, and I don't remember if I put it in here or not, but the whole cunt thing that happened, everybody forgets that I'm the one that said it, but everybody associates it to you.
Everybody fucking blames me for this.
Well, you threatened to fire him, and that's what really grabbed the attention. But
what got me in trouble was I said I'm going to fire that asshole.
I think that's what he means by terrorism. Like you threaten people all the time.
Everyone's like, well, you called Voldemort a cunt on air. It's like I didn't call him a cunt. That was not me. Listen to the episode.
Well, I said it first. You might have joined it. I don't remember.
No,
exactly,
I didn't.
I'm pretty sure you did say it at some point. But
Camille,
I did start.
Camille,
this.
I need you to. Yeah, no, Fusco started this battle.
Yeah,
because you were telling me about the story, and I reacted to it naturally, saying like, "Well, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable behavior by any means."
Yeah, I'm the one that said the C word first. There's no doubt about it. But everybody associates to you, and I just find that funny.
Which is bullshit. I don't know how I'm getting the flack for your shit now.
Well, see, when it all blew up, though, people weren't mad. Well, I mean, they were mad about me using that word, but they were mostly mad about you firing him on air. That's where all the association shit came.
That's where all the fucking heat came down. Where it's like, well, you can't do like what the hell? This is like a character attack and all this shit. And I'm like, well, if I'm mistaken, you know where to find me. Like, give me a ring.
Yeah, no, for sure. But
tell me the story. I've heard the story from two sources the way I heard it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
no one has yet to tell me otherwise.
So we've been through all that. It's just funny how people perceive things sometimes. So
I just don't like being called a terrorist, but okay. Jesus
well, you do
Christ.
threaten people.
I prefer freedom fighter. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's fair.
Fucking A Piper's Dojo. It's freedom fighter.
It all depends on your angle, like which side you're on, right? But so.
Speaking of which, pipersdojo.com/freedom fighter gets you 5% off on a Team Josh t-shirt.
There you go. All right, so here's another. This one's a little bit longer, but they get into something that I find interesting.
Did they spend this entire episode talking about us?
No, they spend 20 minutes talking about us, maybe. And you're
right. That can't be a whole episode because their episodes are like what fucking Planet Earth series.
Yeah, it's 2 hours long. So,
and one of the problems with the way that they have, I won't say conducted themselves so far because that sounds like even though I'm
Well, they've grown.
yeah, but like, I think they have to establish a brand of at least relative propriety or responsibility. That's me.
Oh, okay.
Relative propriety or something, so that they can get big names to come on and hang with them.
Yeah, I don't think any big names are going to come on.
It's
and hang
too
with
risky
them. Yeah.
right now, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't like these people. It's their livelihoods, right?
Right.
Like let's say you want to talk. Like Jack comes down and works with them.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be on the podcast. Although Jack doesn't know what a podcast is, does he?
I don't. Well, I don't know.
That's okay.
He'll be here this weekend.
You know.
We can ask him.
Okay.
I think he'll be here this weekend.
He should be on the 4-way.
I'm not commenting on that. Jack is a great mentor of mine.
Just don't piss him off, okay?
Yeah, well, that's what this. That's why
Yeah.
I don't want to comment.
Fair enough.
So he may or may not know what a podcast is, but like, if I were Jack, I wouldn't go on. I don't think.
Right.
So there's that. So
I wholeheartedly agree. If I were Jack, I wouldn't go on our show.
right, he has nothing to gain by
Yeah.
doing it,
Yeah.
other than like if he liked us and did us a favor. But
No.
it does him no good. We tried. We got him close once.
We've had some more serious episodes where we had more serious people.
Oh no, we
but-
definitely have.
Yeah, but
that's not how people know us.
no, and that's not our brand.
That's not what gets out there. But it's interesting that he says the brand and the things he's talking about. So we've kind of started to do that, but they haven't listened in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, they haven't. They're not quite caught up yet.
So like what we're doing is starting. He says it. I don't know.
Well, we've had to legitimize somewhat because we're trying to break even.
yeah, we're trying not to go
I'm
broke.
trying
on
not to
this.
go broke on doing this fucking show.
But we still say cunt. But it's just
Yeah, of course.
But it's interesting. The brand thing I found interesting. Like he's the thing about responsibility, and I wouldn't say I have any desire to be responsible necessarily. 'Cause
Well-
obviously look at what happened in Winter Storm, but like I like what we're doing by bringing more of the piping back in, and like the pipe band fails or we're going to do successes and stuff. Just a little more. We're just tying it in a little bit better,
Yeah.
I think, lately. So I think maybe December when we lost our minds, maybe we're again. It's a
I could
pendulum
have
of-
sworn there was some like the episode with Eric Evenhouse was way wilder than some of the stuff we did in December.
Yeah, but there were like 3 in a row in December that were like
Yeah, we went mental.
that. So one last one. This is a short one, but this is kind of funny.
I was kind of surprised to see you.
On the show.
Yeah.
Well, and it's definitely like a 50-50 for me,
Yeah.
but like I keep them a little bit in check.
I would agree with that.
And if anything bad happened, I would just fire Andy and then
Andy, are you listening?
yeah, Andy.
So he says that he threatens to fire me. So no, I mean he's joking. There's more. I just wanted to cut that clip.
No,
out
that's a fun one.
But so they go into a lot of different stuff. It's much longer thing, but those are the interesting
I
ones.
think it's interesting where there's like this mentality of, and I've talked about this on the show before. Like there's this kind of like big shot mentality that happens in the piping community, especially the more because it's such a small niche group. Like it's so easy to like feel like you're like this big player in the world.
Right.
I feel like our show does a pretty good job of letting everyone know that, by the way, at the end of the day, even if you're the best bagpiper in the world, the only people who give a shit are other bagpipers, and to the rest of the world, no one gives a fuck. I think there's not enough humility in the system, and our show is nothing but humility.
I would not say that.
You don't think so?
You are anything but humble, son.
I'm not talking about being humble. I'm talking about having humility. Like when you fucking suck and you fuck up and you're awful, you
Yeah.
own it. Like that's different than being humble.
How does that apply to Andrew, though? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think that it doesn't apply across the system. I think that generally people that are in the pipe band scene are either too afraid to say anything or do anything because they think that there's this huge weight attached to anything they say or do, which, spoiler alert.
Well, there is to them, though. You can't take away that it matters to them. You can say that about anything.
Do you think it's intrinsic, though, or do you think it's actually built into the system? Do you think it's like more about... Like if I was I'm not going to use any names because we're learning as we go.
Sure.
But like if I'm like if I am the best piper in the world, if I am like top of the top, whatever, and I go off the rails on some rant, does that affect like, am I not going to get hired to play shows that year? Are people not going to want me to come play solos? Are people not going to want me to help teach their band? Are people not going to want me to because I'm toxic for some reason? If you're the fucking best, it doesn't fucking matter, does it?
I don't know. Probably, I would say probably not, but none of them have ever done it, so we don't know.
That's the thing, though.
There have been some acerbic personalities in the pipe band world
Excellent
in the past.
use of acerbic, by the way.
And that one dude that I can think of I can't think of his name, but he used to run the College of Piping. He's kind of a guy that like says what he thinks and it rubs people the wrong way. I just can't think of his name, but he still ran the College of Piping for his entire life.
I think that,
or most of his life. So I don't know. Like,
I guess the point that I'm getting to is I think the community as a whole, the pipe band community, for the years that I've been involved, has always been a little too politically correct, which is hilarious to say about the pipe band community. But like the higher you
politically correct publicly,
the higher you get, the more politically correct you get.
That's in everything, though.
Yeah, but why? Like, there's no stakes.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that part.
Yeah,
but
like there's no stakes here. Like, what the fuck are you worried about?
that's a good point. But there's no difference than. I mean, does the Super Bowl's this weekend, right? Does the football matter? No. But the money matters, and the people that
here's how you want to know how much it doesn't matter. If I was a football player, I could beat the shit out of my girlfriend in front of 100 people, and I would still be playing football and getting paid to do it.
Well,
like
no, they get. Like
if you're the top piper in the world, you can say some fucked up shit on the Chain Rant podcast.
They probably could, and nothing would happen. Probably.
One, not enough people listen to really get you into trouble. Two, what are they going to do?
True, but also, what is the benefit to doing that?
Well, I feel like there's a certain intrinsic benefit to speaking your mind,
right?
And feeling free to do so.
But we've learned
instead of like hush hush behind closed doors.
We've learned very quickly that a lot of people don't think that way.
I'm aware of that.
So, like, I saw it at Winter Storm was kind of interesting how people reacted to us. I mean, I knew that was going to happen, but like everybody's reaction to like, is this going out somewhere? Like,
oh yeah,
like why is it bad to say these things?
Yeah.
It's so like we all know we're all here. We all know what's happening.
Like nobody.
There's a bunch of us here.
This is not news to anybody in the pipe band community.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I don't know. It's weird. The whole thing is very strange. But like I don't know. Like if I guess that comes down to like if a Richard Park type or a Stuart Little or whatever made some statement against their association or wanted to make some change, would they get punished? I'm sure they're quiet and toe the line because they're afraid of that. I mean, Rab seems to make that point of other bands, lower level bands especially, don't ever want to push anybody's buttons. Unless you've got, Richard Parks is probably the only person on the planet that has nothing left to win, right?
Dude, yeah.
Really, in all reality,
unless they hold the fucking Universal Pipe Band Championships on the moon, then
I mean the guy. Well, if he wins next year and he holds the record at that point for most winning pipe major, then he especially doesn't. But if he, I don't know. It's such an old school, old boy.
He's just gonna win next year. He's gonna secure the record and then just commit seppuku on the field.
Well, hopefully that's what Colin does, because didn't he say that to us? He's like, give me like 3 years and then I'll tell you everything you want to know.
That's true. Yeah, I don't want to throw Colin under the bus, but yeah, Colin's like, yeah, I gotta come back on the show, like it's great, but I got a couple things that he's like, I can't wait to tell you guys some of this shit. And we had some great conversations with some association folk. We already mentioned this on the Winter Storm podcast, but great association folk. They're like, yeah, well, they'll talk to you, they'll talk your ear off. And like, do you mind if we do this on the record? And they're like, we're not doing this on the record. So everyone knows these things. Everyone wants to talk about this shit. My problem is people being afraid to do it.
Well, but they have...
And when fucking Sleepy Time Andrew and FU Joe Brady are talking about, rein it in, guys, rein it in. No. You rein it in less, boys. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Well, they feel that way.
And
but,
yeah,
they have things to lose, though.
Sometimes I got to talk about dildos because I got to get more audience members to laugh and pay the bills. But
no, that's not. Yeah, but that's not the point. We're talking about like pushing people's buttons, like associations, or like calling a judge a cunt or whatever the fuck crazy shit that they. Why would Jack Lee associate with us publicly, knowing that we've done these things? It doesn't do him.
I'm still
good,
amazed
right?
that he works with the band.
maybe one of the. Well, yeah, but maybe some of the maybe a younger guy who's a pipe major. But even then, they have a lot to lose. Jack's won everything on the planet, right? He's got nothing else to win other than he just loves doing it, right? But I mean, I don't know why would he do it? I understand what they're saying. Like, there's no. That's why if we again, I don't want to not do what we do, but I get their point of like, I would love to have interesting, real conversations with these guys, but we'll never do it doing what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think we can.
I mean, maybe someday we'll get somebody. I don't know.
Well, like for us, that was never Channeran. For us, that was like Inside the Circle and stuff we did through the band, because the stuff we did through the band was so much more sanitized.
It wasn't that. It was more educational. It was coming from the angle of education. It wasn't intentionally sanitized, but it was not meant to be.
Well, it wasn't meant to be. It was meant to get to like educational and ideas, not so much like inflammatory nonsense. Why do you? That's the whole reason there's a separate channel.
Correct. Yeah.
The whole reason Channerant spawned was because we were told in no uncertain terms that our shit wouldn't fly on the Vegas Pipe Band channels. The direction we were going anyway.
Yeah, some of the things we were starting to push the envelope a little bit.
And for me, I'm just like, that's perfectly fine for me. Let's put the pure, clean shit out, Las Vegas Pipe Band, and then have the rest of the energy go towards this.
Right. But I still agree that us finding what that is, which we haven't really found, we haven't defined it, or even, I mean, we float, depending on how much liquor we have that day.
Are you talking about for this show?
For this show in general, yeah. I don't know what we're going for, and I see what other than it's just two guys bullshitting in a room. That was the intention.
Well,
basically.
yeah, that's how it started. But I think that what it became and what it is now, which we're getting super fucking meta right now. Sorry, live stream.
They're asleep by now.
What it became and what it is now is it's an unfettered conversation. It's a conversation that hasn't been edited. It's been edited, but it hasn't been like we actually get to talk
only
about
edit it for boring stuff.
Well, we actually get to talk about what we think and what we feel in the moment.
Correct.
And that's what people, especially at the lower grades, appreciate. People at the lower grades appreciate the fact that they're not the only ones having these problems.
Correct.
They're not the only ones talking about it. They're not the only ones frustrated.
Yeah.
And then when we fuck up, we come back the next episode and we say, hey, here's the thing we fucked up. Like, we're learning as we go, just like everybody else.
Yeah. The journey is significant to what we do.
It's not
hearing people hearing the journey of what happens to us.
It's not polished. It's not polished to that extent.
Yeah.
Like the pipe band shit's polished.
Kind of.
It's evident. It's written.
Mean, the
it's
media
written,
is.
It's written and edited.
Yeah. No, it's intended to be polished.
So yeah, I think the idea of Channeran has always been like, here are the real conversations people have. Sometimes they're not pretty.
Very often.
Fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole point of the show.
That's okay too, is kind of what it is. So
yeah.
I guess going back to our mission statement, I wouldn't call it a mission statement.
Should we have a Channeran credo?
We probably should. but essentially it was, most pipe bands in the
truth,
world.
The whole truth, and nothing but the truth, unless we fuck it up, and then we'll cut it out in post.
We'll fix it in post, yeah. But the intent was, most pipe bands in the world go to band practice or then go to a gig or a competition, and then they go out for beers afterwards. The idea was, we're going to mic that conversation.
Yep.
The beers after the band practice.
The real shit.
Yeah, like what do people
not
talk
the
about?
PR shit.
Yeah. And then everything else happened in the meantime.
And as much as I love Andrew Douglas and Joe Brady, they are all fucking PR.
Well, yeah, they have to be.
I know that.
But there's nothing wrong with that either.
Theoretically, I would have to be if anybody actually knew that I do this. But
right, exactly. Well, you're taking a risk. I mean, there's no doubt. But Andrew comes on our show. He took a risk. Did it hurt him? No. They mentioned a couple times. I did cut it out, but how there's people that listen to the show that have become dojo members.
People that listen to the show should become fucking dojo members.
Definitely should. But there's definitely been people that have done that.
And even if I was not close friends with Andrew Douglas, I would encourage people to become fucking dojo members because it's a good system. It works.
Oh, it's absolutely great.
And it's such an incredible resource.
Oh, yeah. It's the only thing of its kind, really, as far as piping goes.
And I really don't like anything. So, aside from whiskey.
Whiskey and
my dog.
And himself.
And me. Yeah. See, everyone, you seem to think that I like myself so much, but really, this is all self-hate. Yeah, keep in mind.
I understand.
The person I hate the most is me. That's why I continually strive to be better.
That's good.
Yeah.
Can you strive to be better on the live stream and getting that thing to work right?
Fuck you, dude. This was not my fault. So speaking of our good friend Andrew Douglas, who happens to employ you.
Yeah, he does.
And occasionally me, but not so much, and probably not that much in the
He also
future.
he talks about that too. I cut that out, but
But speaking of our good friend Andrew Douglas, you are going on the Piper's Dojo cruise, and I am super fucking jealous.
as you should be,
Dude.
Yeah.
Granted, I helped cut some like promos from the video shit from last year.
Oh, did you?
So it's a lot of pasty people.
Oh, of course. I imagine.
It's a lot of
who goes on cruises.
It's a lot of pasty bagpipers on zip lines, but but it does look like a hell of a fucking time.
I know nothing about. I mean, I've seen some pictures. I haven't seen any of the videos. I didn't know there was videos out there about the cruise, but I'll have to go look for those. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'm a little nervous. I haven't been on a cruise in 20 years, probably, so I don't really know what to expect.
Never been on a cruise.
Really, I went on one once, and
I've always
they're
wanted
awesome.
to do like a San Diego Mexico booze cruise, but I've never done it yet.
That's the way to go. Yeah.
So
This is
you're teaching while you're there.
I am. I'll be teaching beginners for the most part, I assume. I actually don't know too much of what I'm doing. Their focus this year is band playing. They're doing sort of a focus on MSR, essentially.
Nice.
And I'll be teaching beginners, and then I bought the drink package, so I intend to drink the shit out of whatever good scotch they have on this boat until I'm blind
To stay away from the rum.
on a regular basis. Tequila for sure. I will not drink tequila or rum. Or
Not unless there's a lot of running faucets on the ship.
Exactly. Oh my God. Oh, by the way, Andrew also told me he wants to do a long form discussion with me.
Oh, you're gonna get your own. You're gonna get your own
I'm gonna
2 hour
get my own
interview?
2-hour discussion where mostly I listen to Andrew talk about whatever he wants to talk about.
Yeah. Well, at least it's not Joe Brady, so you won't spend too much time under the bus.
Yeah, I generally don't throw people under the bus, but maybe I will just to try to.
Oh, I guarantee you'll throw me under the bus. But do me a favor.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't give a shit what you say about me or if you throw me under the bus. Just clip it so I don't have to listen to the whole interview.
Yeah, no, I'll cut it down
Yeah.
for you.
If you clip it so I don't have to listen to the whole thing, I'll forgive you for anything you say.
When I first started into the Joe Brady interview, I was like, 2 hours. What could he possibly talk about for 2 hours? But it actually was interesting.
I have it
listened to the whole
bookmarked.
thing.
I am going to go back and listen to it.
I'm in the
but-
middle of his Andrew Donlin one right now too, and it's interesting, but it is a lot of like Andrew Donlin and Joe Brady going,
God, that is, my problem is like, what if I just get into a rage? Like,
based on what? What do you mean?
just like if I'm listening to the interview and it just like, I mean, it takes very little to set me off and just put me in a rage.
On the Joe Brady one, you mean?
Yeah, like, well, I mean, it's like
It's really not bad.
yeah.
In context, it's really I cut the shit that's funny or
Oh, I'm not talking about like things they say about me. I'm talking about just like it gets to a point where like, oh my God, this is how I'm going to spend my day. I'm just going to spend my day listening to this. Jesus
well,
Christ.
see, that's the difference between you and me. Like, I'll listen to anything pipe band related to the utmost detail. I've done it for years.
For music, definitely. Like I'd listen to infinite amount of people playing bagpipes.
Yeah, no, I like to listen to like how they do things or the leadership stuff or the like just all the real minutia that's real.
Well, that was
Most people
that was
hate.
the cool thing. That was a really cool thing about Winter Storm and the sessions that we did was kind of hearing some of the little details.
Right. Yeah, that was. I mean, again, it depends on the person. Like some people are into that. Like some people walked out of the class when it was obviously way over their head as far as the detail that they went into for like things that don't relate to you.
So here's my most important question about the Dojo U cruise.
I'm listening.
If I can get a Chanter Rant one-piece swimsuit printed, will you wear it?
Like a Borat type thing?
I wouldn't be able to get like the deep V thing, but I could get something that's like a onesie that like is like a gymnast thing. So it'd be like
So
a
like a
V-neck.
wrestler's
It'd be like a V-neck and then like the bikini bottom. And I could get it in time, I think, if I acted quickly. And if I did, would you wear it and
Get a picture of it or a video
get
of it?
something? Yeah, just get something for the patrons.
I think I would. I usually, especially if I'm drinking, I do stupid shit. Like I'm not afraid of that kind of thing.
I'll try to get one that's more like comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know how they size those, by the way, so I'll have to try to figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, come up with whatever you want. I mean, pretty much as long as my balls aren't hanging out, literally, I would probably.
No,
do it.
it's like stretchy, so it should hold everything in.
Yeah, no, I think I would do it.
It might be very comfortable. You don't know. It might be the fastest lap time in the pool that you ever had.
Wouldn't be the stupidest thing I've ever done. That's for
No,
sure.
not by any means.
I think that would be okay. I would get a picture of me and Rob Matheson with a Chanarant
Yes.
with this thing. Yeah, that'd be great because he's a legend, and yeah, that would be funny.
Perfect.
I'll get Andrew Carlisle.
Yeah, get Andrew Carlisle on it. Man, that guy is so much fun to hang out with. He was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude, man. Big time.
Okay, so the last thing we have is another installment of Dear Assholes. And Fusco, you got this one, so I'm gonna let you do the honors of asking the question, and then you get first shot at the answer, and then I'll take second shot. Then I think we're gonna close out the show.
Yeah. Okay. So this wasn't originally intended as Dear Assholes, but I'm throwing him under the bus, and he just wrote this to me privately, but I thought it was interesting. So you're fucked. So Dear Assholes. Kill me. My band is talking about going to a military uniform with pith helmets. What do I do? Well, Josh, would you like to threaten terrorism on this band? Do you want to do that first?
Apparently, that's the thing I do. No, you can open.
My advice to him would be put your foot down immediately and say, no, this cannot happen.
My advice would be quit the fucking band.
That was the other side. If they keep pushing, then I would quit.
If you told me to wear a pith helmet, I would silently silently agree until you paid for me to get the pith helmet.
Right.
Then as soon as you bought it for me, I would headbutt you with it and then immediately quit.
I'd beat you to death with a pith helmet.
Yeah, like don't be a terrorist.
No,
Beat people to death with a pith helmet. Come on now. No, dude, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've heard. Like the amount of work that we put in to our new jackets
yeah.
that we're going to try to get, which are, I would say, semi-military, but they have to obviously not be military because we're a civilian band.
Correct.
So we were very careful to ride that line and say, hey, pipe band uniform is actually based on military tradition, which is fine. And you can get things that are associated with that. But we are very careful to make sure that our uniform is never confused with actual military.
Correct. Right.
And that's out of like just respect and being like a good fucking person.
Right. Yeah. We would never wear those, like, I don't know what they call them, but those officer jackets.
No way. Yeah. Like,
or number one dress, essentially.
Yeah. And we'd never do that. I mean, Graham used to hang his medals from his Prince Charlie, but he was in the military. Like, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, nothing like that. I don't know. Again, well, okay. So he says, oh, shoot, where did it go? Sorry. So I had actually responded to him. I told him exactly what I said to you. And he responded, how do I put my foot down when A, the band doesn't feel like we need to have instructors come out to improve us, and B, they believe the best part of piping is dressing up.
No.
So in that
Just
point,
playing dress
you're
up.
essentially fucked.
Yeah.
I would look
Hashtag,
for a new band.
what's the Chanarant hashtag? Playing dress up?
Playing for, wait, is that what it is? Are these guys going to get yellow flashes is my next question.
Dude. Yeah, that sucks.
You're in a bad spot.
I would immediately say just run.
I would say move to Vegas and play with us.
As my good friend Bruce would say, run to the hills, run for your life. Okay, yeah, I think that's what I would do.
And on that note,
hey Fusco, this has been an excellent episode of the Chanarant podcast. Probably, mostly.
Who knows? I don't know.
You're going to tell me. You're going to tell me later.
We'll find out later.
Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts are we're just going to keep doing what we do and find our way or not. And either way, we're the most successful pipe band podcast that exists currently. So who gives a shit?
Damn, shots fired. Yeah, all I want to say is thank you to everyone who signed up on Patreon for our first month. We're going to keep trying to do the streams. We're going to improve the quality of that. We're just, we're working it through, I suppose, as best we can.
Yeah, and congrats to Will for winning the first.
Congrats to Will for winning the first raffle. We're very excited to have y'all on board. We're very excited to get more interaction from you guys. So please, if you can, interact in the chat, send us more emails, send us more voicemails. Like, we really want to hear from you because that helps us validate the idea that we're doing something right.
Instead of getting shit on constantly by
when it helps us validate the idea that we're doing something right when other people that are in bands, write or email or voicemail us and say, hey, what you guys talked about last episode, I totally get it. We had the same problem, blah, 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 blah. That's what we're doing. That's our niche. That's our area.
Yep.
But, from all of us here at the Chain Rant Podcast, thank you for listening, and Fusco, play us out.